SOW is a gardening game in which players redistribute seeds and flowers in the garden in order to pick a bouquet that will reward the most points at the end of the game. First, choose a dealer to perform these setup steps. Shuffle and place the 4 wheelbarrows to create a square, wheelbarrow side up. Each player chooses a wheelbarrow that is nearest their seated position. In a 2-player game, sit opposite each other. Next, shuffle the seed cards and place 2 cards under each of the 2 dirt sides of the wheelbarrows so that the seeds are visible in each row. Be careful not to expose the flowers underneath. Next, place 2 cards diagonally between each wheelbarrow. Finally, place the windmill green clockwise side up on one of the diagonal rows and the gopher watering can on the opposite row with the gopher side up. Each player secretly looks at the favorite color on the backside of their wheelbarrow card, then places it back in its position in the garden. The player to the left of the dealer is the start player. In a 3-player game, the player sitting between his 2 opponents is the start player. Each turn, a player redistributes a row, then takes any applicable actions. The last card placed will determine whether you take a seeds or flower action. Seeds must be flipped over to become flowers. Flowers that are collected reward points at the end of the game. First, you may take a row of 2 or more cards into your hand. Then, redistribute all the cards in the order of your choice in the direction shown on the windmill, starting on the immediate left or right of the taken row. A player must place exactly 1 card in each row, including empty rows, continuing until the last card is placed. All cards must be placed with the same side up in which they were taken. 1 or 2 actions may result from a card redistribution. If the last card placed is a seeds card, it is flipped to its flower side. Additionally, all other seeds of that same color in that row must also flip to their flower side. If a flower is the last card placed in a sequence and is placed in one of the 2 rows in any wheelbarrow, the active player chooses one of the 2 colors on that flower. Then, all flowers in that row that contain that color are collected and placed face up in front of the controller of that wheelbarrow. In a 4-player game, each player is the controller of a single wheelbarrow. With less than 4 players, each player controls an additional wheelbarrow to collect flowers from. For 3 players, each player is the controller of a single wheelbarrow and controls the non-player wheelbarrow when they are the active player. In a 2-player game, each player is the controller of the wheelbarrow in front of them and the one to their immediate right. If a garden card is placed in the same row as the other garden card during redistribution and not necessarily the last card placed, the active player may also perform one of the 2 face-up garden actions. Then, the chosen garden card is flipped. The garden actions occur in addition to the seeds or flower actions, or may occur on its own. When performing both, perform the seeds or flower action first, then the garden action. There are 3 possible garden actions in the game. The windmill allows the active player to change the direction in which all cards must be redistributed from that turn on, from clockwise to counterclockwise, and vice versa. The gopher allows the active player to remove from the game all flowers in any single row. If you use the watering can, choose any flower in any row and add it to your bouquet. After performing a garden action, that chosen card is flipped over. In all cases, the order of the cards in a row has no effect in the game. Players continue taking turns in clockwise direction for the entire game, though card redistribution may change direction throughout. The game ends when each row contains just 0 or 1 card. Each player reveals his secret favorite color card and calculates his score as follows: 3 points for each flower with your favorite color in the center portion, 2 points for each flower with your favorite color on the outer portion, and 1 point for each flower without your favorite color. The player with the most points is the winner. In the case of a tie, the winner is the player with the most points accumulated with flowers that contain his favorite color. Here's a tip: play defensively. Sometimes it's worth ending your turn with a flower in an opponent's wheelbarrow in order to choose a color that would allow them to take less flowers into their bouquet than they would on their turn.